Hi everyone, it's Sonia here. I'm here with Gunnar.
Hey.
And today is September 1st, so it's the first day the vaccine passport goes into effect in Montreal. You have to use it now to get into a restaurant, bar, a number of basically all sporting activities, any kind of events, live music, whatever. Got some vaccinated people eating on the terrace. We got a unvaccinated homeless person eating in front of the terrace, but yeah, we know it's
Hey.
Hey Mike. Yeah, what hobo Mike here doesn't know is that he doesn't need the pass to go inside because he's homeless. Homeless people are allowed to eat inside the restaurants and on the terraces.
What if the restaurant owner just kicks them out for smelling bad and deterring customers?
That's another issue, but his vaccination status is not a problem. So there's a protest happening here in front of Hôpital Saint-Luc, otherwise known as the CHUM, Centre Hospitalier de l'Université de Montréal.
CHUM.
Right there. So we're gonna go check it out.
This is not huge.
Okay, it's not a huge protest. There are some people here though. Maybe I'll find Lara. Hey you guys, I'm vlogging today about how we're out here protesting having a segregated society.
I'm double vaccinated.
Are you really?
I'm okay with this, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that you're telling me that because so many people think it's only the vaccinated who are against that.
No.
Okay.
I know people, yeah. Just whatever you do, don't post this because I'm really a private person. I don't want anything on YouTube with me in it.
Oh my God, that's going to be a problem for me because I can't just interview myself. What if I just interview your voice?
Yeah, of course.
Is that okay? Well, I'll put something over your face so we don't see who you are.
She's very
Put
good
my
at editing.
face over her face.
Yeah, you can blur.
Okay.
As long as you blur my face.
So I'm going to interview someone here who she doesn't want to be on camera, but she has something to say, and she is actually double vaccinated. You know, I totally get that. It's just that I want to show the voices of different kinds of people because the media is only showing the unvaccinated are against it, the vaccinated are for. So you're double vaccinated,
yeah.
And how do you feel about the vaccine passport?
I don't think it's right. I really don't. I think that everyone should choose, and I think it's very divisive, and I think it's very dangerous to divide society. We were just talking about how some parents are taking other parents to court for custody over their kids.
Oh, really?
Because of this? That's insane. It's dividing families, and yeah, I'm not okay with it.
Is this happening in Quebec?
Yeah, we were just talking about a couple of people that we knew who were going through it.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's crazy. Lawyers dropping their clients because they don't want to touch this kind of case. It's too, what's the word?
Controversial?
That's right, yeah, controversial. So, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
I'm not surprised that you're telling me that you're double vaccinated and you're against it, because even though the media makes it sound like, you know, if you've had your shots, you're okay with everything else that the government is doing. From the comments that I see online, and I'm not talking about conspiracy forums, I'm talking about people just responding to mainstream news. There are tons of people and people that I've met personally who've had their shots and they say, well, wait a minute, we agreed to get a vaccine. We didn't agree to participate in segregating society. So there are two separate issues, but our media doesn't want you to realize that. And how did you feel when you had your shots? Were you okay?
Oh yeah, fine. The first shot I had like a sore arm and a bit of, like nausea or whatever. The second one I didn't feel anything, honestly. For some reason it was fine the second time. And I am very skeptical of the pharma.
Yeah.
And the FDA, like we're supposed to just trust the FDA with their history. But at the same time, I had to make a decision. Like, am I going to trust that there is a pandemic and this vaccine does work, or am I going to fall on the other side? Because it's like you have to choose. You can't be in between anymore, and that's not okay. People should be able to choose for their own body.
For sure. So you have two parents who are fully vaccinated who don't agree with the pass? How is that possible?
My entire family does not agree with the pass.
And they're all vaccinated?
And they're all fully vaccinated, and they think that it's a terrible idea, that it's an infringement on rights, that it's a slippery slope that we're on, and that it's completely unwarranted and unnecessary. We've gone through the entire pandemic without it. Why would we need it now? 18 months into the pandemic.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
All
now.
the regulations should be being pulled back. Things should be going back to normal, and instead everything's being accelerated, and more mandates are being passed and more laws are being imposed on us. So when that starts to happen, you need to start to question what is happening here, and that's where my family is at. What is happening here? We did what we were supposed to do. We went and got vaccinated. We, have complied this entire time, and you told us that that was going to, make life back to normal, and it hasn't happened yet. And especially now that we know that vaccinated and unvaccinated spread and catch the illness, the only reason to get the vaccine is to protect yourself, so that hopefully you get, not as bad of a case if you end up getting it. But it's not true that people are getting vaccinated to protect one another.
Now with the data coming out from different places, US and Israel, it's becoming obvious that getting vaccinated doesn't guarantee protection from infection. So that's why to me it doesn't make a lot of sense.
You can still spread it, which means a vaccine passport gives a false sense of security and is completely unnecessary.
Yeah, that's one of the things that concerns me. I've seen a lot of stories online of people saying that they got Delta, especially, that they got COVID, and that they got it from their vaccinated partners or vaccinated friends. Some of these people were also vaccinated themselves, but the moral of the story being that they got it from people who were vaccinated. So having this pass makes people feel like, I had my shot, so I'm a safe person to be around. And so I can just go about, do whatever, and we don't have to worry about this anymore, when that's really not the case. Yeah, it's a pretty small protest today.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed because today is the 1st of September. It's the day that all the unvaccinated become second-class citizens.
So how's it going at work? Have they what do you think is going to happen there with them mandating it for the nursing staff?
Honestly,
and the
right
hospital
now,
workers?
we have absolutely no idea. I know that I believe in early spring, François Legault had made a statement saying that healthcare workers will have to be vaccinated and or tested. So they came up with that agreement, but in the spring when he made that announcement, a ton of people ran and got vaccinated, right? Instead of calling his bluff. Just because he said something doesn't mean it's a law.
Right.
And then we got a letter from our unions in April saying this is what the agreement is that we came up with, and the agreement was the healthcare worker will be tested 3 times a week or will provide proof of vaccination status. And that was our union.
But it wasn't actually even done, though. It wasn't implemented.
Well, no, it's September 1st today, and
but they brought this up in April, and it hasn't been getting done from April to September.
Nobody knows anything. None of us have been approached, whatsoever, on our unit. So,
what do you think the hospitals are going to do? Are they going to fire actually up to 30% of their staff in some of these Montreal hospitals?
That would be quite
Can they do that?
concern.
They're already understaffed.
We're extremely understaffed.
And the clinics have not been taking people for walk-ins for the community clinics. So a lot of people are going to the ERs, and they're saying they're 150% over capacity at most of the major hospitals in Montreal. So people are in the hallways. Nurses are already fed up. They're quitting because they're overworked because there's not enough staff. And that's without COVID. So what's going to happen when all these people quit?
Well, it's going to be disastrous. My union president wrote a scathing letter because they're in Parliament right now, debating it. And that is what she said. She said, the emergency decrees and the ministerial decrees he put on the nursing staff resulted in thousands walking out. And on top of that, we lost a lot of highly experienced staff, nurses that have worked for 20, 25, 30, even 35 years. They're all leaving. They're saying, screw this.
They're going on retirement.
And those are the nurses we desperately need on the floors. They orient the junior nurses that are 17, 18 right out of school.
So screwed.
So, and on top of that, we've also had junior nurses on our floor just quit and decide, within months of their first job as a nurse, oh my God, I don't think this is what I want. So, I don't know how they're going to get people to enter the profession after everything they've done. like in Ontario, nurses are totally out and out quitting because they're not getting proper raises. But a lot of nurses are going to quit too because, well, not quit. We're all going to allow ourselves to get fired. But that's going to cause a disaster.
It
My
really
union
is.
president told them,
A major
you know,
disaster.
like, you should commend the healthcare staff that went and got vaccinated voluntarily, which I thought was kind of funny because a lot of the nurses on my unit, it was not a voluntary choice. If they didn't have to get vaccinated, they wouldn't have.
Really, even though they're
They thought they were
nurses
gonna
and they've
lose
even
their
worked with
jobs.
COVID patients and they still
Yeah.
didn't want to get it.
Yeah,
And you worked on the COVID floor.
I did. I did for a couple of months. It was the same as my regular floor, except with lots of PPE. I mean, I just went to work, like it was fine. I don't understand, like, all those posters of nurses, like, lying on gurneys in the hallway. Like, I didn't see that at all, ever.
cflnqc à commercial protonmail.com. C'est ça. Tu veux que je répète? cflnqc à commercial protonmail, c'est protonmail.com. Jusqu'à maintenant, on n'a pas vraiment de gens qui ont perdu leur emploi. Donc, ce qu'on veut, c'est, on va finir par faire, un recours. Il y a des gens qui ont perdu leur emploi, mais pas face à la vaccination obligatoire présentement. Donc, moi, qu'est-ce que je veux qu'on fasse, c'est qu'on se regroupe pour tous ceux. Il faut qu'on fasse quelque chose. On ne peut pas laisser ça de même. Donc, on s'unit ensemble, puis on va tenter de faire un recours collectif parce que c'est ce que les avocats nous ont demandé de faire. Donc, si on est toutes seules face à nous-mêmes, c'est sûr qu'un recours collectif à 2 personnes, c'est pas un recours collectif, là, c'est un duo. Alors, on va prendre, en fait, mes amis vont travailler fort, je crois, puis ils vont prendre en charge ce côté-là, puis on va s'organiser pour aider tout le monde. Donc, si vous avez des gens qui sont dans la solitude, qui ne veulent pas se faire vacciner, puis qui disent « moi, j'en veux pas, mais je sais pas quoi faire », orientez-les vers le Canadian Frontline Nurses ou l'infirmière de première ligne, là, parce que c'est important qu'on soit tous ensemble, unis, pour le peuple, avec le peuple.
So that's it, you guys, for the protest. Not a huge turnout, but actually it's the middle of the workday on a Wednesday, so that probably has something to do with it. But I found it was very interesting to talk to people here, especially the fact that some of them are vaccinated and they're still against it. And I'll leave you the links below if you want to get in touch with Canada's frontline nurses. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.